Hi, everybody, and welcome to Week 10 of the college football season on the Coach Nofri Show. Joined, as always, by the head coach of Sacred Heart Football, Coach Mark Nofri, sitting in first place, 3-0 and 3 to go in NEC play with the big win at Campus Field against Bryant. The run game was sensational. The offensive line creating holes for Jordan Meacham and Julius Chestnut. A record-setting day with the run game, and I know for an old-school football guy who loves smash-mouth football, you had to love that.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can rush for that many yards and have two backs, one at 300 yards and the other one at, 180 yards, I mean, that's what you're looking for. And you would ask me last week, what are going to be some of the keys to the game? And I said, we got to get back to running the football and, scoring up front. And we did that. We did that, and I'm very proud of the kids, especially the offensive line and the running backs, to do what they were able to do. And, we actually had one taken off the board as well. So, there was probably another 75 yards out there and another score in Saturday's game that we didn't get. But it is what it is, and I couldn't be happier for these guys.
We talked a lot in the beginning of the year what a weapon Jordan Meacham would be. You're in a windy, rainy day, so you kind of keep the ball out of Kevin Duke's hands. He only attempted 3 passes, and you really relied on the run game. And Jordan Meacham set the all-time record for rushing yards in a game. And Julius Chestnut, who had been a little quiet there for a few weeks after a real loud first game as a freshman, he runs for 3 touchdowns as well as Jordan Meacham, and Meacham up over 300 yards, 318 rushing yards to set a record.
Yeah, it was great. Like we talked about earlier, Jordan's one of our playmakers. He's one of the better kids on the team, and each week Coach Gardner tries to find him ways to get the ball. He's very versatile. You can catch the ball in the backfield. You can flex him and put him in the slot. You can move him outside. He's just a great kid, and I couldn't be happier for the success that he's had this year. And Julius, he's one of our freshmen that have stepped up. He's playing a big role in our offense and our team this year. Also is on most of our special teams. He's the one that caused the fumble to start the third quarter on kickoff. So you talk about a kid, and we talked about the other day, he just scores a touchdown on a long run, and he's the first one in the huddle to run down on kickoff. So he's not tapping out. So that's just the type of kid he is. And, again, those kids are our guys, and they're doing a hell of a job, and we couldn't be prouder of them.
We wondered at the beginning of the year what your offensive line would look like. We got to give credit where credit's due. They hit some big holes.
Yeah.
The guys up front played maybe their best of the year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think that they really gelled this week, and Coach Gunny Smith's done a great job with those guys. And, we started out well against Lafayette and Bucknell, moving the ball on the ground. And, there's some new guys up front, but I think, Andrew Starr, Anthony Delafave, Josh Sokol, Nakeem Lewis, and J.D. Dorenzo did a great job, along with our 2 tight ends. You go back and you look at Cudahy and Del Driscoll. I mean, they were a key component in that blocking up front for these guys as well. And I think all those 5 offensive linemen and 2 tight ends probably played one of their better games in terms of the run blocking assignments and just getting after people and being physical up front. And that's what you have to do to run the ball like that. And to win games, we have to run the ball.
And Bryant ran the ball. I mean, the weather conditions kind of dictated it, and they have a good run game as well. But you had some ball hawks on D. Pat Luker back in the lineup with 15 tackles, Mike Weiland with 10. They were chasing these guys down all day. Bryant was on the field a long time, so those guys were tested, and boy, did they step up.
Yeah, Bryant had run 87 plays to our 65. So, defensively, they were on the field a lot. They were able to move the ball a little bit on the ground, but, it's a difference when you got Pat and Mike together. And, again, they haven't played together pretty much a full game since the 3rd game of the year when Pat got hurt. But having him back is a key component, and Mike just keeps plugging away. He's probably one of the fastest kids on the team, and they're all over the field, and that's what you want. I think the guys up front did a great job. Bob Steffi played his butt off again for the 2nd week in a row. Doesn't get a lot of credit on that D-line. Chris Agaman, Aaron Donaldson, Christian LaDolce, and they did a great job, and Pat Ferrara. And they got after it. They kept them out of the end zone. I know they scored 27 points. One was on a block kick. We had fumbled the first snap, so they started on about the 9-yard line. But overall, I think they did a great effort, and they did what they had to do to shut down that offense.
Coach, usually I'm in the press box for a game, but on a rare occasion I got to be down in the stands amongst the fans. There was a really noticeable energy in the park on this day. It was family weekend, miserable day weather-wise, but the Pioneer fans came out, and it was noticeable. So how much, a 2-part question, how much did you guys feel the energy from the crowd, and how much are you going to be needing that energy moving forward with 2 big home games left?
Well, again, the weather was horrendous on Saturday in Nor'easter for crying out loud. And we had a great turnout. I mean, you look up in the stands and you look around the standing room in the 2 tents, and there was quite a few people there. And I've said this all along for the past 5 years or 6 years as being the head coach here. We travel very well. I mean, when we go on the road, there's a lot of Sacred Heart Pioneer fans that travel and follow us, and parents and friends and administrators. And at home games, you could see they're pretty much sold out most of the games. And we're going to need that energy. Our kids love it. And, when you sit there and you watch the film on Sunday morning, you look at the sidelines when a big play happens, and you want to see the kids getting excited and running up and down the sidelines. And then, if there was a play in the end zone and you could see the tent and the people erupting in the end zone that are watching the game from the president's tent, it's a great feeling to know you got that kind of support. And I know the kids think a lot of it too, and it's important to them. Obviously, we have 3 to play, which we're looking at this week only in Robert Morris, and we're going to be home. So we're hoping to have another big turnout and a lot of support, and the kids feed off that. And I think it's important to them, and it's important to the school and the community that we continue to appreciate our fans and hopefully get another win this weekend.
Well, let's turn our attention to this weekend. Sacred Heart and Robert Morris Military Family Appreciation Day, high noon. You get a 12 p.m. start Saturday afternoon college football game against Robert Morris team that can put up some points.
Yeah, they're a lot better than they've been. Offensively, they have a receiver, tight end, who's leading the conference in touchdowns. He's got 11 touchdowns this year already. I think he's in the top 3 for catches. The quarterback is solid. It's the first time I think he's been healthy in a year or two, so he's been with them. They got 2 very good running backs, a transfer from Bowling Green. Their defense is sound. I mean, they got a linebacker that's in the top 3 for tackles. So it's going to be a test, Coach Clark's done a great job there, changing the culture and bringing in his type of recruits. And they're very sound. They play hard. And they're going to come here looking to, knock us off, and we have to be ready to go. And I talked about it on Sunday with the kids. It's a 1-game playoff from here on out. So the last 2 games don't matter unless we win this weekend, and we have to focus and understand what's at stake and who's coming in here to try and beat us. Last year, we were tied with them with, I think, 12 seconds to go in the game. Kamal Whitaker ended up pick 6 to end the game with like 4 seconds to go in the game to get us a win. But that was a tough, hard-fought win for us. And a lot of those kids are back, and he's added some more talent to that team. So it's going to be a challenge, and our kids cannot look ahead, because it won't matter down the road unless we get this one Saturday.
All right, let's finish with, as we always do, with a couple of keys that you're looking for from your team on Saturday afternoon.
To make sure that we understand what's at stake and play with the same amount of energy and emotion and playing hard. We talk about playing hard. And when you look at the film and other coaches turn on the film, you want to see that the Sacred Heart team plays hard every game, not just picks and chooses the quarters of the game that they're going to play hard. But overall, we got to continue to run the ball like we did. We got to be able to stop the run, and I got to be able to shut down the receiver, tight end, Gonzalez, who, like I said, he's got 11 touchdowns already.
Looking forward to it, Coach. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Mark Nofri is always joining us on the Coach Nofri Show. The first place Sacred Heart Pioneers hosting Robert Morris, high noon, Saturday afternoon. It is Military Family Appreciation Day, so we look forward to being able to honor military families as well at Sacred Heart Football. And if you can't make it to Campus Field, we have the call for you on NEC Front Row at 12 p.m.